Hey guys, Alberto Rueta. I'm here at Edgemere Park on Airway in East El Paso at the No Kings protest. And we're going to talk to some people, see what they think about this administration.
So, follow EPTX United for more protests. We've been protesting since February 5th. We will continue having them. There's also Indivisible, the 9.
Hi, I'm here with Lori Marshall. She's got a butterfly sign here. Talk to us why you're out here today, and are you surprised to see this many people?
I am heartened to see this many people. I am not surprised to see this many people. And I'm out here today because I love democracy. I love the concept of liberty and justice for all that has never been practiced before on our planet. This is not the darkness of the womb we're experiencing. It's the darkness of This is not the darkness of the tomb we're experiencing. It's the darkness of the womb, to have a true multicultural, multi-religious, multi-class, multi-gendered democracy that's never been seen on Earth. And El Paso is a wonderful place to do it.
Martin, talk to us a little bit about your poster, man.
Hey man, we're not happy that things are going, man. He's got all these guys supposed to help him, but his cabinet's not doing good.
Not at all. I'm here with Raul Amaya. He's got this awesome Donald Trump piñata. He's got the Hitler stash, got a Confederate flag, the the MAGA hat on the foot. Talk to us a little bit about what you got going on here.
Well, this is my expression of all the things that characteristics of Donald Trump that are very disturbing to me and most Americans. All these folks here, you know, primarily his God is money.
Yes.
It's called Mammon. His God is known as Mammon. He's a supporter of the Confederacy. You know, he's just changed the name of these military bases back to the Confederate generals. He's a Nazi sympathizer. Come on, you got Elon doing the swastika thing, you know. The worst thing that ever happened to El Paso was at the hands of Donald Trump and his racist rhetoric. He got 23 people killed here, right near here, you know, with his racist, xenophobic rhetoric, which incited a terrorist, a Trump terrorist, to drive 600 miles to come and kill himself, some Mexicans and Americans, Mexican Americans in our community. So I'm just outraged by this guy.
I'm here with Albert and Isabel. They're here at the protest. They're flying an upside-down flag, and I'm here to ask them, what's the meaning behind this, guys?
I believe that America's in distress, so that's the symbolism of the upside-down flag. Trump and his administration, I call it a regime, are deteriorating our country, and it's all greed on their part.
I'm here with Dominic. He's 19 once again. We're here at Edgemere Park. Dominic, tell me why you came out here today, and just, tell me what's going on.
Well, I think everyone here is just kind of protesting our democracy kind of crumbling in on itself. And honestly, I don't know. I don't have much faith in protesting itself, honestly. I think participating in the bourgeois system won't lead to any change, but I suppose I'm here not for like change itself, but for all the people that are scared right now, just to show support and know that there's a community of people behind you, that you're scared and you're worried, but we're here and we got you,
Yeah.
We don't really have power,
Yeah.
and we're kind of participating within the framework of the system which is oppressing us. So it's like, if there's like oppressors and they're allowing us to do this, then what are we really doing,
I guess, look, my last question, because you're very right, we do have, we are being oppressed, but I guess my question is, guys, I'm here with Jonah. He's been giving away water since we got here. Talk to us, bro. What's been going on?
I don't know, man. I honestly am really impressed. I didn't think that this many people are going to show up. It's really good to see the community coming out. The last time I went to a protest here, it wasn't this big, and I'm really enjoying, just seeing people noticing that it's not good. It's not all right. We need to do something about it. We just had a Democratic politician assassinated in Minnesota, and we really have to, start doing something about it. It's something that we have to come out and, it's the right thing, because I see a lot of people like looting in other parts of the country. That's not good, but this right here is what we need,
So I'm here with Jacob Lone Wolf, Ernesto Red Cloud. Sir, talk to us a little bit about this awesome flag that you have.
Well, you know, I think people ought to know that, you know, the whole Turtle Island is a whole continent of the Americas from Alaska to Argentina, and we're all native. We're all native. The Mexicans are Mexica, that comes from the largest tribe of the Aztecas, and we're all native. You get your grandmother, you put some feathers on her, and you see that we're all the same.
I'm here with Isaac, man. He's dressed up as Superman. And talk to me, why are you dressed up as Superman, my guy?
Because I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Under the Same Moon that has I don't know his name, Eugenio
Derbez, yes, I've seen it. Yes, it's a sad movie. It's a sad movie.
Yeah, I've seen the song, and they say Superman también es illegal. So I went with that on my sign.
It's actually just really sad. I'm trying to maintain hope, and seeing all the people out here gives me hope. But it's not even a disregard of people who are suffering and who are just coming here to just give their families a chance to live, because immigrants coming across the Americas, they really are facing, you know, their families could get killed, you know, and such a small percentage of them are granted asylum. And it's not only are we ignoring it, but it's more than that, they're being targeted. So this immigration crackdown, and he said he was going to focus on the violent criminals.
I'm here with Sophie. She's got this awesome vest on with these awesome pins. Sophie, talk to us about what happened here today. It's kind of coming to an end here, but talk to us. What happened here at the No Kings protest?
Yeah, well, I'm super excited. I've been meaning to come out to one of these for a while now. It's just great to see everybody come out to support what we believe in, to come out and exercise our right to peacefully protest. I know there's a lot going on in the country, you know, with everything going on, but the fact that we were able to all come out here together and peacefully exercise our freedom of speech and freedom of assembly, it's just amazing to me.
I'm here with Stacy, and she's here, got the 2 flags. You got more flags than most people. So my question, you know, you're here, obviously a veteran. Talk to me a little bit about what's it like being a veteran and being disappointed by this Trump administration. How has that felt, and were you expecting something different?
So, as a veteran, anybody that enlists in military service swears an oath to the Constitution. Not to a king, not to a president, not to a politician. We swore an oath to defend the Constitution, to defend the people of the United States. And what is happening right now, in my opinion, this administration is the enemy of the people. They're coming in, they're destroying communities, they're breaking up families, they're destroying the American dream, and they're turning it into a nightmare. And that is not what I signed up for. That is not what I went to war to fight for. And just like I didn't give up then, I'm not going to give up now. This is my country. This is our country, and it's great because of immigrants. It's great because of the people that come in from other places, and there's room for everyone.
I'm here with Mr. Miranda at the No Kings protest. Mr. Miranda, you were formerly a teacher at Coronado. That's how I recognized you. You know, as a social studies teacher, did you ever think that due process would ever be rolled back like it is today?
Oh, certainly not. You know, but you could see the handwriting on the wall that it was eventually going to be, civil rights were eroded. We saw it with the Black Lives Matter, you know, the scaling back of women's reproductive rights. And then we see it now, what they're doing to the Gazans, you know, the Palestinians, the same kind of treatment. You know, it's been honed on our immigration, process here.
Did you ever think that anything like similar to like this would be happening, where we're seeing due process being eliminated and the rights of immigrants being infringed on, despite it being written into the Constitution that they have due process?
I love your questions. Thank you. Thank you for asking them. Our country was based on stealing land and stealing bodies. It does not surprise me. It is an ancient, long-term fight. And if Harriet Tubman can free 20 people with a warrant, a bounty on her head, We can do this, right? We have so many people whose shoulders we're standing on. It is terrifying to see due process lost. Due process was gone for black people in the South, for people of color in California who were in the fields. It's not a new thing. Let's make it a dead thing, an old thing.
You know, I thought I saw something like it in 2016 during Trump's first administration, but I never expected to see anything like this. It's scary to watch the news, it's scary to go outside, but the fact that we're able to all come out here and support each other and show each other support and make our voices heard is amazing.
Did you ever think, you know, that you would be seeing this type of attacks on people of color or immigrants in your lifetime?
You know, that's been the history of manifest destiny, you know.
That's true.
Where they believe that God gives them the right to dominion over people, animals, land, water, air, everything. And we've had it for 500 years, more than 500 years.
What's it like seeing due process be eliminated right before your eyes? It's truly unbelievable. It's something that this nation was built on.
Exactly. I hate it. I worked with the federal judiciary for 30 years, and I know what they're doing. I understand the intricacies of it, and it's pathetic. It's going to be the end of our democracy as we know it. The third branch, or the three separate branches, are going to no longer exist.
And they're hiding it all under, you know, whatever they're doing. They're talking about the immigrants doing this, criminals.
The trans, the gays.
Yes, everything's a distraction.
All that is smoke and mirrors.
Being a person of color, did you ever think that we would see someone who has such just disturbing rhetoric against people of color and, you know, anyone that opposes him? Did you ever think that someone like that would ever be able to come to take power in the United States?
No. It's unbelievable that so many Americans support this very, very sick man. You know, it's disconcerting, and I commend you young people for being out here, because you're inheriting this very dysfunctional world.
It's 12:40. We're here at Edgemere Park, and the protest that originally started on Edgemere Linear Park, which runs perpendicular to Airway, has now spilled over into Airway, and a lot of the protesters have gone onto Airway and are making their voices heard there. Lots and lots of people showed up, and as the day progressed, more and more people continued to show up and continue to do so, even though the event is about 20 minutes from the set end time. You know, talking a little bit about, you know, the situation in Gaza, you know, it's developed in the last couple of days with the strikes in Iran. Do you, you know, what's your take on a possible another war in the Middle East?
Well, the military-industrial complex is alive and well, and it's fueled by, you know, organizations like AIPAC, and you know, they thrive on war. You know, very much, very similar to like what we do with, you know, the privatization of our healthcare system, the privatization of our schools. You know, it's what we call neoliberalism when we study economics, right? And so, yeah, well, you're starting to see the decline of an empire. And I say empire because consider that the United States has over 750 military bases around the world. And we control their politics, right? Why? Because we want their natural resources. So, you know, that's the decline, just like the Roman Empire, the British Empire, the French Empire. So now it's our turn. Most empires only last 250 years. So do the math, right?
Yeah, and then lastly, talking about smoke and mirrors, you know, with everything that's developed in Iran over the last couple of days, what do you guys think about possibly another war in the Middle East?
Every time an administration is in negative polls, a war pops up. So that's what I'm thinking right now. All of a sudden we're distracted from Elon and Trump's battle, and suddenly when he refers to Epstein, we pop up all these things. So I think it's a distraction. Smoke and mirrors, as you say.
Great way. I'm here with Cesar, and Cesar, obviously you have the LGBTQIA flag. What has it been, or like how has it been for you to see the community so violently attacked by this administration and have no one really stand up for them?
I think most importantly, as a gay man especially, looking at the attacks on trans people, our trans sisters, is extremely abhorrent. Without trans women, our community would not be where it's. The advances would not have been made without them, and it's important for us to make sure that we continue to stand up, not only for ourselves, but for them especially. The idea of trans women in athletics, the idea of trans women as somehow predators is completely ridiculous, because we do know that trans women by far are the most affected and traumatized by violence, that it is ridiculous that this administration continues to be able to use them as a weapon against our community as a whole, and it's despicable and disgraceful.
Do you think that, the right or uses these issues, non-issues such as LGBTQIA, immigrants, and, other DEI issues, do you think they use this solely as a way to divide us?
Absolutely, because the right actually has no policies that benefit or advance humanity in any way, shape, or form. And so all they are doing is looking for ways to monopolize business, further capitalism, and they're not benefiting us as a country at all. So the only thing that they have is a cultural issue to wedge people against one another. That is the only way that they are succeeding right now.
Yeah, talking about, this trans issue, I actually have a close friend. As soon as the Trump administration took office in January, immediately funding for a lot of the stuff that gave her access to medication, for her everyday life, it was immediately cut. And so a lot of people in our community, they don't understand that these individuals are continuously under attack like this, and they think that this is a made-up issue. That's what they mean when they say that the trans community is under attack, right?
So in many ways, they are under attack just by nature of who they are, and many people are attacking them. And so when we look at losing benefits, at especially the cuts that they're making to Medicaid here in Texas, they never expanded Medicaid. They basically are an example of what is coming next for the rest of us. And so I have family members, my sister, my mom, who rely on benefits because one is disabled. My mother is 88. And so the idea that these things are going to go away just like they have been for trans folks, it's really important for us to realize that the attacks on trans women are the canary in the coal mine, in the sense that's how they start, but in the end, those are the things that we're all going to lose.
Yeah, it'll be first. The whole class issue, I think now more than ever, with so many billionaires in office making all the decisions for us, it's easier for us to feel like we don't have a voice. What do you think that can be done so that we can maybe, my real question is, do you think the Democratic Party will be the answer for what's going on right now?
If the Democrats truly address the needs of working people, which they abandoned to be safe, the Democrats will win. Most of the people in our country are working people, and we don't have universal health care, where the threats of the health care getting cut by the Republican bill is obscene. We can do so much better like other developed countries that support young families, that give paternity and maternity leave. We're very far behind socially, but it's all, we got to do it.
So you brought up labor, the shift to more unions, such as Starbucks and the auto workers. What do you think that as we see more power taken from the poor, from the middle class, and given directly to the rich, the billionaires, and those who are in power and make the decisions, do you think that the Democratic Party is still the answer for the lower and middle class in these midterms and this next presidential election?
Certainly not. I mean, we see how Kamala Harris and Walt's ticket, they chose to swing to the right rather than provide us with a livable wage. Obviously a major concern for a lot of
young people like yourself, they were in opposition to the genocide that was occurring and the Biden administration's support of this, fueling the Israeli Zionist government. They haven't done anything to codify Roe v. Wade, nothing to do with, they always hide behind, parliamentary procedures and all. And let's look at it. We've got a congresswoman here, Veronica Escobar.
I saw her earlier.
Homegirl here she's taken $37,000 from APAC. You can't value the lives of immigrants, and on the other hand,
not value the lives
dehumanize the Gazans, right? Yeah. So there is an incongruity there. And so it's time for us to, one of the big steps is to get money out of politics. Then they could be more responsive to us.
Do you think the answer is the Democratic Party still, or do you think that something new has to arise to meet the needs of the middle and lower class?
Yeah, I think the Democratic Party's too far right. I really think that we need some party that's more left, a party that really has workers and people in mind, and I don't want a president that is tearing down democracy or doesn't have the people's interests at heart, and I don't feel like there's really any party that cares about us right now. So it's just about our community right now, and I'm loyal to these people, and that's who I'm showing my loyalty for right now, and I just want the community to be able to rely on itself because we can't rely on the government right now.
What do you think that the answer for the people who are lower and middle class is still the Democratic Party, or does there need to be something else?
So that one's hard.
It is.
Because you can't trust anyone, Yeah. Especially when it comes to politicians, we want to see it, but they all really like to benefit themselves too. And I mean, it's what it is, it's a job. So at the end of the day, I do my own job to make money so that I can feed my family, So I get it, they need the money, but it's just hard, man. You can't really go into politics without being a little corrupt, Yeah, so I don't think we should be just a two-party country, but I don't see it changing anytime soon.
Really get the crowd going.
It's a hot rod.
What do you think that we can do as a community to combat some of the really negative rhetoric that makes us turn on each other as a community against other marginalized groups? Like, sometimes it's the gays, sometimes it's the immigrants. What do you think we can do as a community to maybe combat that?
Be educated. Understand that the real issue isn't immigrants. The issue is this is not a war against immigration. This is a war against poor people. This is a war against people coming in from other places. This is stop pretending people's racism is patriotism. That's all this is about. So be educated. Oh, they're breaking the law. Laws aren't always just. Slavery was legal once. Women didn't always have the right to vote. Legality doesn't equal morality.
What do you think we should do as a community moving forward to, address everything that's been happening?
Keep doing what we're doing right now. Just keep at it, and eventually, hopefully, he'll change his mind and think other ways, like ours, like we are, help us.
Well, I think number one, it's important to realize that you don't have to know a trans person to be able to empathize and respect who they are. So the idea that you need to know someone to be able to do that is ridiculous. And so understanding that these are human beings who just want to live their life and exist without constant oppression and persecution by people who have so much more power than they do, that's all you need to know.
Infringement of free speech with the deportation of international students that have spoken out against Israel. What is your take on that? That was completely unprecedented. I think, in 2016, Trump ran on, I'm not taking APAC money, and now it's 10 years later, it's a different story. So what's your take on that?
Okay, that was a multifaceted question. It prompted me to think about what the 4th, 5th, and 6th Amendment constitutional rights are broached, right? And they're dismissed. Immigrants students, like you said, the university students. So yeah, we're in Orwellian times, right? So, you know, how do we do that? How do we reclaim that? Well, it starts with, we're not going to see it from the Democratic Party. We're certainly not going to see it from the Republican Party. So what's it going to take? I see a burgeoning labor movement. You see it with the how they've organized in the Starbucks, Amazon, United Auto Workers. And why is that so effective? Because it comes from us, grassroots efforts, right? And that's what it's going to take. It's going to take us shedding the fear of economic repression. And if you're in dire straits economically, well, we're all going to be eventually, right? So it's going to take a collective movement, a collective resistance. What does that look like? Boycott, divest, sanction of various military-industrial complex companies.
Most definitely. And my last question, and you kind of touched on this, is sometimes it feels like we don't have any power. What can we do as a community to combat these things that are happening?
We can support and know each other. We can build trust and never let anybody turn us against each other. We're having an International Peace Day Symposium September 21st and 22nd at UTEP at the Thomas Rivera Center to reinforce all the peace practices that are going on here. We need to develop our skills in peace literacy, because none of us know how to handle anger very well.
That's true.
And we all need practice. And we've submitted my nonprofit Unity Through Creativity has submitted a proclamation to City Council that was passed last year and passed by the county for El Paso to be an international city of peace. We joined 440 other cities around the world who make peace practices part of our identity. So, you know, be good to your neighbors, don't badmouth anybody, see what each other needs, and vote, and raise a ruckus.
That's well said. Just repeat that day of the event so that people can get the word out.
It's September 20th and 21st, Saturday from 9 to 4 and Sunday from 1 to 5. We'll have international speakers as well as local people sharing peace practices.
And my last question to you is, what can someone do to, create a sense of community to kind of fight everything that's going on and kind of feel like they're doing something to help the cause? What can they do?
Well, I mean, this is a perfect example. You can come out here, make your voice heard, go online, tweet, just bog down the algorithm with voices that care, and then come out here, show your support, and just keep being awesome, everybody. Yeah.
I really appreciate peaceful protest. And talking about community, what do you think we as a community can do to combat some of the divisive issues that are taking place right now? There's immigration, there's the whole DEI thing.
So, I mean, one of the biggest things is boycott, boycotting. It always works. We've seen it time and time again. The main thing that I've seen with a lot of people in at least my community, even my own parents, they refuse to stop buying Amazon products, They refuse to shop at Amazon. They refuse to stop going to Target. And that's so detrimental to the cause, because you can't come out here and say that you're for the people and then keep funding the people that are funding our demise, because Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, they're all giving money to this cause that is tearing up families.
If someone wanted to, get more in touch with the community, maybe try to do something for the Native American community, what could one do if they don't really know how they could do this?
Well, first of all, I would say look inside you and find out that we're all human and we're all from the Great Spirit, and start from there. And then start looking into your family and start looking and reaching out to what we call kalpulis around here. And kalpulis are circles of Native Americans that still practice the ways. Start reaching out and then start understanding that you are part of us and we are part of you.
Thank you, sir. Last question is, what do you think we can do to maybe bridge some of these gaps that we have between groups? I think that you know, obviously the people in power, they're millionaires, billionaires, they don't care about us. What can the people who are actually lower middle class do to bridge the gap that has been created by this disgusting rhetoric?
I don't really know, but we need to keep on protesting, speaking out the truth, and calling these people out. That's all we can do, and vote. Start, get ready and get people out there to vote in the congressional midterm elections.
I'm here with Roberto Carmona in the No Kings protest here in Edgemere Park. Roberto, what does it mean to you to be here today, just voicing your opinion on this administration?
Just my voice to be heard, and I'm also here to support the governor of California and for peaceful protests and the hands to get off my benefits and No Kings.
All right, last question, sir. Do you think if people were more in touch with themselves spiritually, we wouldn't be in these type of situations where we learn to love our neighbor, maybe not treat people with such disrespect?
I think a lot of people, especially the white man, has lost their ways. The black people still have their fire ceremonies. The Asians still have the fire ceremonies. Native Americans still have fire ceremonies. I don't know too many white people have their fire ceremonies, and that's spiritual growth there. And that's what I think they lack, is we all have spirits and we all have to function with that because we are all children of God.
It's 1:20 and we're here at Edgemere Linear Park, and things have started to dwindle down. Everyone seems to they've seemed to have started heading home, and the heavy police presence, I'm sure, will soon start to clear. As you see here, it's not as nearly as many people as there once was, as this event was set to end at 1. It's now 1:20. And it seems like it has concluded. Nothing out of the ordinary, nothing but a peaceful protest here at the No Kings protest.